Hello, Potato, and welcome to Weekend Magic for October the 14th, 2023. I hope you had a safe and fun Friday the 13th yesterday. This week, we're back to the Happy Haunt Hunt, and I have to say, the items from this week's selection have me absolutely headstone over heels. Yeah, none of it was acquired this week. We were up to last night still looking for a specific item, but I have essentially given up looking for it, although now that I'm going to do a video where it would have been right to have it, maybe now I'll be able to find it. So in the past, for Halloween, I have regularly set up a bit of a graveyard in the front yard. I haven't for the last couple years, 2020, 2021, 2022, didn't do the graveyard. This year though, we're going to do it. I've been noticing a lot more of my neighbors have been putting up Halloween decorations, which is to say any of them have been putting up Halloween decorations this year. So I feel like maybe, just maybe, we'll get some trick-or-treaters this year. Unlike last year where we got exactly one. And that was the next door neighbor. So we got some new tombstones this year. Before we get to the new tombstones, look at this thing. So if you've watched my Sack Anime videos, I think in particular, you've heard me moan about the lack of a cosplay shovel. You can find cosplay weapons of all sorts, various swords and knives, box cutters, pliers, wrenches, hammers, mallets. I mean, I swear, I think Spirit this year has no less than 6 or 7 different kinds of Harley Quinn-esque mallets, but no shovels. Scythes, yes. Baseball bats, 5 or 6 different kinds. Shovels, no, not a one, not a single one. Well, my wife did find, I think on Amazon, she found me this. A shovel. Is it a little small for me? Yes it is, much so. But see, one of the few cosplays I do is the groundskeeper from the Haunted Mansion. And while I've got a nice lantern, got the outfit, I don't have the figure, unfortunately, but there's not much immediately I could do about that. Honestly, I'm just kind of bigger than him anyways. There's not a whole lot I could do about that, period. But I could, maybe get it down a little bit more. But if you look, you probably can't see it on the camera, it's probably too small, but he does have a little wee shovel there. So now, I have a little wee shovel as well, which is good because we are doing tombstones this week. That's why you can see so much, although I've probably cut the sides off here a little bit because I feel like you can see a little bit more than I need you to see. But because today's items are full-sized and will not fit on the camera on anything smaller. We have tombstones from 2 different places, from Lowe's Hardware and from, of course, Spirit Halloween. Let's start with the Lowe's ones because they're not wrapped in plastic. So we'll start off with the one that's closest to me at the moment. Dear departed Brother Dave, he chased a bear into a cave. And I've knocked over my pin. Put you over there, I guess. So, yeah, I don't know how well it looks on camera. From a distance, I mean, it's the lights in here are bright. But from a distance, I think it looks fairly convincing as stone. It is just hollow plastic. But it's weighted. And now they had I think they had a version of this one. It may have been a version of the other one, or may have been versions of both, at Spirit, which may actually have been the exact same tombstone. But I went with the Lowe's one, because I think it was maybe a little bit more expensive, because it has a weighted base. The ones from Spirit have stakes. You have to stake them into the ground. And I like the idea of the weight better, because it's easy to move around. I don't have to puncture holes into anything. If the ground's too dry. I have a Pirates of the Caribbean, a Captain Jack Sparrow tombstone that needs to be staked down because it's actually hollow on the back. And yeah, if it's not rained at all, if it's been dry, it can be very hard to find anywhere to stick that into the ground because it's plastic stakes. And if the ground is dry, and this is California, we don't get a ton of rain, it can be very hard to actually set that tombstone. I do frequently end up just leaning it against a tree. Yeah, we have Dear Departed Brother Dave here. It's very nicely done. I think it looks pretty good. It's 1-to-1 scale. And I do feel like, with the bottom of these things, you need a little something to camouflage. If I do it in the mulchy areas, I will get a bag of extra mulch just to cover the base up a little bit, to make it look like it's coming up out of the ground and not sitting so much on the ground. If it's on the grass, gotta kind of fluff the grass up around it just to hide that seam at the bottom. But it's nice, it's big, and it is now going to be a new addition to the graveyard. But that's not all. You see, Lowe's had a couple different Haunted Mansion tombstones. In addition to dear departed Brother Dave, we also have good old Fred. A great big rock fell on his head. And I think maybe this is the one that I saw at Spirit. Again, if not both of them. And again, I think they might be like literally the same tombstone. I think they probably are the same, except that, again, this has a weighted base instead of needing to have stakes driven into the ground, which to me makes it the superior choice. And yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Again, in the light, I don't know how, on camera, I don't know how like stone this looks, but I think from a distance, in the dimness of Halloween night, I think it will look fairly convincing. Now, while Lowe's did actually have a nice selection of other tombstones, these are the only two we got from there. There was one other we wanted to get from there, but we could never catch it in stock. And we've been looking. We went as late as last night. We went and looked at another Lowe's location. And yeah, I just feel like they're not going to be getting it back in this year. I never saw it. I saw the Caretaker. I didn't buy the Caretaker. I didn't want the Caretaker one. I was like $300. Two, I don't want to get into animatronics. I mean, but it was pretty good looking. I never did see the Madame Leota tombstone. So having accepted that it just might not be available from Lowe's, for that one we did go and buy the Spirit Halloween version, which is just one giant piece of glare off of the plastic wrap. So I will go ahead and take her out. Now, she is a staked tombstone. But again, I think she looks pretty good. Get this plastic off so you can see her a little better. She's apparently new and improved. No swivel design. I have no idea what last year's looked like. Quick release tombstone with detachable stakes. Thicker, wider, stronger, faster, better, harder, higher. All the things she is this year, and apparently was not last year. So I guess it's a good thing I didn't buy her last year. But what she is yeah, she needs stakes. And not the kind that come with a T-bone, the kind that come with a cable tie. So let's take a look at the bottom of her. So yeah, see, they're gonna... So I guess they just kind of twist in here. Is that... Yeah, that seems to be about it. And then you drive... I feel like you would need to... Yeah, you'd have to put them in her before you could drive it into the ground, because you can't twist them both at the same time. So that's, I guess it's easier for putting her away at the end of it all. But I think it's a pretty good likeness. It is quite a bit lighter. I think I might be okay without... no, she's a little wobbly. See, I think I might be okay without staking her down, but no, she's quite wobbly without her stakes on her, so she probably will need to go... Is that... That's weird. The end of her nose, I don't know if you can see it on camera, the end of her nose looks wet. I thought... I mean, I don't know what she'd be wet from in here, but no, it's just... She has a shiny nose. She needs to powder her nose. Anyways, of course, this is the famous Madame Leota tombstone. Dear sweet Leota, beloved by all, in regions beyond now, but having a ball. And yeah, I really wanted to get the Lowe's version, because the Lowe's one talks and has eyes that I guess light up or maybe move around or open and close. I'm not 100% sure what the eyes on it were supposed to do, but it was a talking one, and all they ever had was the big inflatable talking Leota tombstone. I don't want inflatables, even less than I want to get into animatronics. I really don't want to get into inflatables. So yeah, this will have to do at least for this year. Again, unless in the next couple of weeks we happen to stumble across one of the Lowe's, we'll probably go and take a couple more looks at the various Lowe's locations around us. But given that they have been pretty much completely taken over with Christmas and indeed are clearancing out what little Halloween stuff they have left already, so if you want inflatable things, now's the time to go looking for them. I feel like the chances of them getting another Madame Leota are very, very tiny indeed. Now, I will want to say one thing. I know from the pictures of the talking Leota, it does say Haunted Mansion along the front, and that is the thing this actually does have above that, is there's nothing on the front that automatically says Haunted Mansion. If you know, you know. If for some reason you don't know who this is, then you're not going to know it's a Haunted Mansion reference, unless you look at the back. where it does say Disney the Haunted Mansion. And I do like that. You know, I've mentioned before, and you may not have watched those videos, but so I'll tell you again. If you've heard it before, then you're going to hear it again. I like things that aren't supposed to exist in our reality, and I really like it when they don't acknowledge they don't exist in our reality. Like our busts here. They don't say Haunted Mansion on the front anywhere, they say it on the back. And I like that, like the idea that, you know, if a person casually seeing it doesn't know what it's from, they're just not going to know what it's from. There's no clues. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, you're not gonna, unless you look at the back or the bottom or wherever that is given away. And yeah, that's the thing that I like. It's maybe it's a me thing. And yeah, I just love stuff that's not supposed to exist in our reality, existing in our reality. So yeah, we've covered our 3 Haunted Mansion tombstones. We have one more. It's not Haunted Mansion, but it is a tombstone, so I figured this would be the video to cover it. It is also from Spirit. It also needs to be staked into the ground, and it's also the biggest of today's tombstones, and that is this one. Here lies Beetlejuice. Yeah, it's not Haunted Mansion, but I mean, I really liked the looks of it in the store. I actually kind of like, they have like a little like desktop version that I still am tempted to go back and see if we'll see if they still have it. We have like 20 Spirit stores around us now, so the chances of them having, of one of them having it, I feel is still pretty decent. Yeah, we have the Beetlejuice tombstone. This one actually does light up. I don't know how well it'll show up on camera with all the lights in here, but there we go. I think you can see that. Yep, it lights up and flashes. And it does actually say Beetlejuice on the front, which is not fantastic. Although, I mean, it does say here it says Beetlejuice. It's a bit of a hint. But I think it's a fairly screen-accurate reproduction for being plastic. Now, up close, they're like, is not the greatest definition on our skeletons and stuff. They do look a little low res when you get up close to them. But again, from a distance, in the dim light of the Halloween night, in the torchlight, and probably just torchlight, probably just have some torches out there, probably won't even turn on the porch light for this, I feel like it would look pretty good. And also I feel like, oops, I just pulled the little demo thing off. I feel like with that going, I think that's going to look pretty good. And it does another stake one. There's more stuff on here though. What is on here? Oh, it's the wings. He has wings that will attach to him. I'm not going to attach them right now. I'm sure I'll post pictures on the Void of Intelligence Instagram on Halloween, so you can see what he looks like all put together. I'll do some close-ups of the tombstone so you can see them in their proper environment. Yeah, it's our battery case back here. Let's make sure we put some fresh batteries in it for Halloween night, and just I think put them out there and let it flash all night long, or at least for the 2 or 3 hours. Everything will be set up. But yeah, it's not Haunted Mansion. It's not technically part of the Happy Haunt Hunt, although I mean there are a few haunts happier I think than Beetlejuice. This actually looks a little almost like there's a little bit of an error in printing here, or like glue or something melted. But again, from a distance it's going to look good. It's just I didn't even notice it, I think because of the glare off the plastic wrap, but I'm sure noticing it now. But again, from a distance at night it's going to look just fine. And that does bring us to the end of the Happy Haunt Hunt for this week. There will definitely be Happy Haunt Hunt items next week and probably the week after as well, leading us right up to the weekend before Halloween. So come back for that if you are enjoying seeing Haunted Mansion merch. I've definitely got a couple more things a coming, including one which will be a revisit to something we looked at way back in the summer. But that wraps us up for this week. Let me know in the comments, what do you think as far as staked tombstones versus weighted tombstones? I think I'm a fan of the weights. First of all, they're not going to get lost in between years. There's every possibility, if I don't tie them on somehow or bag them or something, that the stakes will not still be there next year. I think my Captain Jack tombstone only has like one stake because the other one has gone a-wandering. And yeah, that's issue number one. But issue number two is just like, I think the weighted ones, I think they're gonna be more stable. I don't need to like punch holes in the ground. This one actually is not bad. This one is more stable than Leota was. So maybe we'll be okay with this one. But Leota definitely will need to be staked down. So yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think? Weighted base versus staked in place? And which one is your favorite? Which tombstone do you like the best this week? As much as I love my Haunted Mansion stuff, I just do like the fact, that this exists. I like that there's a Beetlejuice tombstone. And yeah, I mean, I have such familiarity with the Haunted Mansion ones, I think, that just the novelty of them making a Beetlejuice tombstone really works for me. But let me know what you think. In any case, I hope you found this all interesting or entertaining. If you did, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.